BMW's pilot fleet of hydrogen-powered cars is on the road. A hydrogen-powered X5. Oh, the huge manatee BMW is starting the public access phase of its plan to persist with hydrogen fuel cells, readying a pilot fleet that will go into service this year. The car that'll be putting in the aforementioned service is the 9.5 Hydrogen, a gigantic land yacht that is to efficiency what a teenager is to honesty star. Even so, the 9.5 manages more than 300 miles between refills, taking on 6 kilograms of compressed hydrogen at a time. Doesn't sound like much, but remember that hydrogen is the lightest element in the universe, so carrying 6 kilograms of it in the space allowed means compressing it to 700 bar more than 10,000 psi, or about the pressure you'd get if you were 3 miles underneath the ocean's surface. As a side note, this part of the ocean is called the Hadal Zone. As in Hades. As in hell. Which means that getting 6 kilograms of hydrogen to fit in a fuel tank, the 9.5 actually has a pair of tanks, is kind of like getting a metric ton of feathers to fit in a suitcase. In any case, the fuel cells that use the hydrogen are good for a constant 168 brake horsepower, while the onboard lithium battery can deliver 228 brake horsepower for a combined peak output of, you guessed it, of 396 brake horsepower. Obviously, there are pretty severe time limits on how long the small lithium battery can deliver such power, but then there are also pretty severe legal limits on how long you can deploy that sort of power yourself. The cells actually come from Toyota, one of just a handful of players still persisting with hydrogen, although for how much longer is anyone's guess. Helpfully enough, it partnered with BMW about a decade ago to provide fuel cells for H2-powered Beamers built at BMW's Research and Innovation Center in Munich. The 9.5 Hydrogens will comprise a fleet of less than 100 vehicles internationally, earmarked for demonstration and trial purposes for various target groups. So probably not at Summernats or Santa Pod, then, and probably not here, either. We've already gone over how hydrogen is less efficient than battery power, how the infrastructure isn't there for hydrogen, but we already have an electricity grid, and every other argument that just seems to invite, well, more arguments. Unless hydrogen producers, fuel cell builders and those in charge of gas infrastructure find a way to make hydrogen much more efficient to refine and use, pilot programs like these stand a very real chance of being grounded.